my beloved child. I know there are days when rising from bed feels like lifting a weight too heavy to bear, and your mind swirls with hundreds of tasks left undone. You may have asked yourself, am I being too weak? Am I falling behind what I should have accomplished? And in that silent confusion, you feel alone. But my child, let me remind you of something sacred. Not a single movement of yours is meaningless in my eyes. Even when you exhale in weariness, I am there counting each breath, listening to the unspoken groans hidden deep within your soul. Your health, both body and spirit, matters deeply to me. You are not merely a tool to accomplish great tasks. You are my child, precious, wonderfully made, and deeply significant. Every cell in your body bears my fingerprint. And because I love you so completely, I care for both your soul and your body. When your body cries out, I listen. When your soul grows weary, you draw near. I never demanded you be endlessly strong, for it is in your weakness that my power is most perfectly revealed. I saw you pushing to finish your tasks, though your heart longed to give up. I noticed the faraway look in your eyes, searching for a spark of motivation to keep going. And when the tears wouldn't even fall, I wiped them away before they had the chance to form. You thought no one noticed your silent battles, but I know. I see it all. Not for a moment do you fight alone. I also understand that health isn't just about the body. There are burdens on your mind that weigh you down more than any physical labor ever could. Invisible pressure. Expectations you place on yourself. The fears of disappointing others. These things are exhausting your heart. But, my dear child, lay those burdens down and come to me. I do not come to scold or to drive you toward perfection. I come to comfort, to carry you when your legs cannot. You do not need to prove your worth through performance. You are already worthy because you are mine. Your value is not defined by productivity or accomplishments, but by the unwavering love I have for you. And that love does not change. Whether you're strong or broken, whether you succeed or fall, my love stands when you stand, and it surrounds you when you collapse. I want you to begin caring for your body as an act of worship, not from pressure, but from love. Love the body I gave you. Rest when you need to. Nourish yourself with good food. Move gently. Listen to your body as though you were listening to a piece of me, because you are. I dwell within you. Your body is my temple, and when you care for it, you're expressing gratitude for the gift I placed in your hands. And understand this, to note, every weariness is a sign of failure. Sometimes, exhaustion is a holy invitation to stop and refuel in my presence. Sometimes, I allow you to grow tired so that you will run to me first. Instead of relying on your own strength, you were not created to function like a machine, but to live in communion with me, with your body, and with those I've placed around you. If today you feel not enough, know that not enough is where I begin my work. If you feel empty, that is where I pour out. If you feel lost, that is a sign I am near and ready to lead you home. And if you've ever wondered whether I truly care about your health, your weariness, your smallest steps, the answer is yes, more than you can imagine. You are not invisible. I have engraved your name on the palm of my hand. Every heartbeat within you echoes in the chambers of eternity. You are an irreplaceable part of my loving plan. Even when you feel slow, left behind, or undeserving, I am working. You may not see it, but I am realigning everything to heal you, restore you, and infuse you with a strength, not of this world, but of my very spirit. So do not blame yourself when you need rest. Do not think you've regressed just because today doesn't look like yesterday. In me, there is no metric based on performance, only love poured out each day, sufficient for every moment. Each day, I give you your daily bread, no less. No more, but always enough. And one day, you will look back on this season and realize that it was in these moments of seeming weakness that you drew closest to me. You learned how to slow down, to listen, to release, and to surrender. And you will understand, true strength is not found in gritting your teeth alone, but in leaning into your heavenly Father who is always there, in the quiet, in the love, in every breath you take. I love you completely, unconditionally, and unchangingly, and because of that love, I care about every detail of your life, even the ones you think are too small to matter. Step into my rest. Let me care for you, for I am not only the maker of heaven and earth, I am your Father, and nothing about you is beyond the reach of my love. My beloved child, I want you to understand that your body is not merely a shell for survival in this world. It is the home where my spirit dwells. I chose to inhabit you not as a guest, but as a father among his beloved family. That body is not ordinary. It is a sacred temple, crafted with the precision of infinite wisdom and love. Every cell, every heartbeat, every breath bears the imprint of my hands. And because of this, your health is more precious than you realize and owe, just so you can survive, but so you may walk fully in the good plans I've prepared for you. But I also see clearly what's happening. There are days when you push yourself past your limits, not from faith, but from the weight of responsibility or fear of being left behind. You ignore the mild headaches, the ditzy spells, the sleepless nights, if you don't have permission to pause. You brush past those signs like they don't matter. But I see it all. Every time your heart slows in fatigue, every heavy breath you try to conceal, every smile on the outside while inside you feel undone. All of it enters the gaze of my tender care. And my child, do not think my silence means indifference. It is because I care so deeply that I am gently warning you through every signal in your body and mind. Beloved child, the weariness you are feeling is not merely physical exhaustion. It is a cry from your Sula divine alarm sounding within, alerting you that you are drifting away from the balance I have intended for you. Your soul has sighed too long. The joy in your eyes has faded. And I know, at times, you've wondered whether you are losing yourself. You long to stop, to rest. Yet you are afraid that if you pause, everything might fall apart. So you keep going, striving, enduring, weary, and then striving again. But I did not create you to live like this. I did not form you so that you would collapse before coming near me. I designed you with the rhythm of grace, a place where you can live, work, love, and rest in my presence. Don't let the hurried pace of the world drown out the voice within you. Don't let busyness become your measure of worth. You are not defined by performance or achievements. You are defined by my love for you, a love that is unchanging, unconditional, and never grows tired. My child, it is time for you to face a sacred truth. If you continue neglecting yourself, you will miss what I long to give you. Because when your body is weak and your mind clouded, you cannot clearly hear my voice. When you are exhausted, you are more likely to believe the lies that you are not enough, that you must do more to be loved, that rest is laziness. But the truth is, it is in rest that I can heal you. It is when you slow down and humble yourself that I can pour into you fully. You cannot fulfill what I have destined for you if you rely solely on your own strength. There are journeys you must take, but not alone. There are doors I will open, but you need strength to walk through them. That is why I am calling you. Stop, listen, and realign. I desire to renew your strength, not only through physical rest, but through a deep restoration that reaches every part of your being. I will give you wings like eagles to soar high. But first, you must allow me to heal your weary feet. I am showing you specific steps, not to burden you, but to set you free. It may be a nudge to drink more water, a call to sleep earlier, to eat with intention, to tidy the space around you. Or it may be the gentle urging to step outside. Let the sunlight warm your skin. Let creation soothe the tensions in your soul. And most of all, it may be an invitation to simply sit with Minot, to do something spiritual, but to just be, to let your heart be still, your breath become gentle, and to allow my love to pour into the forgotten corners of your being. I know change is not easy. Sometimes you fear that if you take time to care for yourself, you'll disappoint others. You're afraid that if you rest, you'll lose something. But, my child, the only thing you'll lose when you rest in me is exhaustion. Everything that truly matters I will protect. I will provide. I will guide. For I am the one who gives the plan and the one who guards it as you learn to trust and be restored. You do not have to strive to be loved by me. I loved you long before you knew yourself. And even now, that love remains intact, waiting for you to return. Not with a checklist, but with a heart open to be loved, to be healed, and to be made whole. So, my beloved, do not ignore my voice any longer. Do not dismiss the signals your body is giving you. Do not minimize the silent cry of your soul. Come back to the source of life, me. Let me take your hand and walk with you in the journey back to the fullness I have always intended. I will not leave you alone. With every step you take, I will walk beside you. With every breath you draw, I will be your life. With every night of sleep you entrust to me, I will turn it into a new beginning with new strength, new heart, and a new life overflowing. I am waiting for you in the stillness. Come, and you will know what it means to be loved to the very depths, both in health, in weakness, and in every heartbeat of a life being restored. My precious one, look closely at what you're going through, not with fear or judgment, but through the light of truth that comes from me. The fatigue you feel, the challenges that weigh you down, and even the days when you feel overwhelmed by things beyond your grasp, none of it is random. You are not in this situation by accident, not because I have abandoned you. On the contrary, every hardship is an invitation to draw nearer to me, to lay down your burdens, and let me become your refuge in every circumstance. I know there are times when you sigh, why me? Moments when you feel lost in a battle with no end. Your efforts seem insufficient. You wonder why everything feels so complicated, why peace seems far from your sleep, why your steps feel so heavy. But my beloved, it is in those very places of weakness that I am doing something great. I do not take your tears lightly. I do not overlook the silent prayers whispered in the night. And above all, I do not abandon you in the storm. Rather, I am closer than breath, nearer than anything you can feel. You were not created to carry everything on your own. You are not a machine that must constantly produce in order to prove your worth. You are the beloved child of a sovereign Father, one who sees what you cannot, one who walks ahead of you into both the known and the unknown. These trials are not a sentence, they are doors. Doors that lead your heart to learn trust, to learn how to lean not on your own strength, but into my arms. I know you've grown used to pushing through. You've learned how to stand alone, to brace against pain, to pretend you're okay when your heart is in turmoil. But, my child, I never intended you to live that way. You were made for deep connection with Minot as a lone soldier. But as a child who always has a home, I did not call you to be a superhero, I called you to be real. Real with the cracks, the gaps, the dark days, because it is through those very places that I can enter and shine. When you feel empty, that is when I can fill you. When you admit you are not enough, that is when I can show my limitless strength. You don't have to understand everything to trust me. You don't need to be strong in my presence. I am not repelled by your brokenness. I am drawn to your honesty. And if you dare to humble yourself, to give me your unhealed pieces, I will gather them, restore them, and build you anew with a beauty born of trust, forged in the dark. What you are carrying today may not be what you chose, but you are not alone. There are burdens you're bearing that were never meant to be your successive worry. Unrealistic expectations, responsibilities beyond your capacity. I never intended for you to live so drained. That is why I am calling you not to condemn you, but to free you. Lay down what is not yours to carry. Let Metha, one who bore the cross for you, also carry today's concerns. Do you know this? Your weakest moments are when I move with greatest power. Your surrender is when I lead. When you stop trying to save yourself, that is when my redemption begins to flow more clearly than ever. You don't have to keep everything under control. I am the one who holds it all. When you let go, you don't lose. You simply return the reins to the one more trustworthy than yourself. I see you faltering, and I do not blame you. I know you've given it your all. But now, my beloved, let me carry the rest. Let your heart find rest in me. Let me whisper into your soul. You don't have to do this alone anymore. Imagine a life where you no longer have to strive to prove you are enough, where you no longer fear failure. Instead, you walk in peace, in the confidence that I am leading, supporting, and working even when you cannot see it. And if there ever comes a day when you forget this, come back. Remember that every time you lift your eyes, I am still here, unchanging, unwavering, never disappointed in you. My love does not fluctuate with the seasons of your life. Instead, it is the steady anchor in an ever-shifting sea. When you place your trust in me, you are not stepping into shallow waters, you are surrendering into the vast ocean of unshakable peace. My child, this is not the end, it is the beginning of a deeper surrender. A new journey where you don't need to know everything ahead. Only this: I am holding your hand, and these hands, the ones that stretch the heavens, shaped your being, and were pierced for your sake, will never let go. So let all you are carrying become the place where I show my glory. Let every weakness become the place where I reveal my strength. And let each step you take, whether weary or wobbly, be living testimony to an unchanging truth. Your Father is walking with you. My beloved child, even though your eyes have not yet seen, and your mind has not yet grasped it, right at this very moment as you read these words with a heart that may feel unsettled, I am quietly at work. Not in the clamor of noise or through great upheavals, but in the gentleness of a father's tender hand. I am arranging all things according to the best timing, the best way, and for your greatest good. What you call delayed unopened doors, the unanswered prayers, the paths that seemed wide and then suddenly changed direction. These are not rejections. They are protections. Not every detour is a defeat. Some turns are beginnings of a new journey, where you will discover things that you never would have known on the old road. I do not allow anything to happen by accident. Every slowing down, every unfulfilled desire, every season of waiting holds a purpose to prepare you, refine you, and establish you more firmly in faith. You may have thought that I am late. You may have asked, Lord, where are you in the midst of these inner storms, in the changes within my body, my thoughts, and emotions that I cannot yet adapt to? But, my child, it is in these very moments when nothing seems to make sense that I am working most powerfully. I am refining your soul like gold purified through fire, not to harm you, but to remove what does not belong to you: doubt, fear, pressure, and false ideas about your worth, so that you can walk lightly, freely, and powerfully in my good purpose. Do you remember how a potter forms a vessel on the wheel? He doesn't shape it only from the outside. He places his hands inside to mold its core before he shapes the exterior. I am doing the same with you. I am not only adjusting the visible things that others can see, I am transforming your interior, your habits, thoughts, motives, the way you see yourself, and the way you see me. Every step of refining requires surrender. And I know, at times, that surrender can make you feel like a stranger to yourself, even insecure. But know this: no deep transformation ever comes without change, both inward and outward. I don't want you to merely survive, I want you to live. To truly live. Not in the hurried rhythm of the world, but with a soul that can listen, sense, and walk in harmony with my will. The life I give you is not just a heartbeat at it, is a life full of joy, overflowing peace beyond circumstances, and strength to accomplish every assignment I've given you. That is why I touch not only your spirit, but also your body. I care about your health because I know that when your body is weak, your mind becomes more easily shaken, and my voice within you can be drowned out by relentless fatigue. I want you to feel the joy of waking up without heaviness. I want you to have strength to laugh, to love, to serve by forcing yourself, but from the overflow of my never-ending source of life. But for that to happen, you must allow me to guide your lifestyle, your rest, your eating, your thinking, your choices. The changes I ask may be uncomfortable, such as letting go of what is familiar, adjusting your pace, releasing things you once considered harmless. But, my child, the true healing always begins with obedience, and obedience always brings change. Trust that I know what is best for you. I know you better than you know yourself. You may think that peace comes from control, but true peace comes from trusting the one who is in control. Sometimes I will lead you into new territory emotionally, spiritually, places you've never been. These places may feel unfamiliar and not safe by the world's standards, but you will learn something profound, that I am always there no matter where you are or what season you're in. You are not walking alone. Not a single step on this journey is wasted. Even your sweat, your silent nights, your unanswered questions, they are all being used by me like bricks to build something miraculous. You may not see the outcome yet, but I am paving the way. I am teaching you patience, surrender, and how to place every part of your life under the loving leadership of your Heavenly Father. So, my beloved child, open your heart to embrace Chanjano as something fearful, but as a step closer to fullness. Let me rewrite your story, chapter by chapter, line by line, with the ink of hope, restoration, and new life. You are not stuck. You are being shaped. You are not abandoned. You are being prepared. You are not lost. You are being led into a new season where you will no longer live by your own will, but in the abundance flowing from my mercy and wise purpose. Keep walking in faith, believing that what I am doing today, though quiet and unclear, is leading you to a goodness beyond all you could ask or imagine. For I am not only the one who begins, but also the one who brings to completion every good thing I have started in you, my beloved child. When you begin to listen to the whispers within, when you cherish each beat of your heart, each fleeting thought in your mind, and every gentle nudge of your soul, you are stepping into a sacred journey, a journey in which every step you take, every choice you make, can become an act of worship. Because when you honor your body, the temple where my spirit dwells, when you guard your mind against unnecessary anxieties, and nourish your spirit with the word of life, then you are worshiping me in the deepest way. I do not ask you to be perfect in order to come to me. I only ask for your honesty. Honesty about your fatigue, your pain, your hidden wounds, and the corners of your soul no one else has touched. You don't need to hide anything. You don't need to paint over pain with a smile just to prove you're strong. I did not come looking for a flawless example. I came to embrace you with all your rawness, weakness, and brokenness, because I see the treasure buried deep within you, the one even you sometimes overlook. My beloved child and dear one, do not hesitate to seek help when you need it. True strength is not measured by how much you can carry, but by your willingness to stop, to open your heart and allow others to lift you, and to run to me without holding anything back. I have placed people around you not by accident. I have prepared arms to embrace you, hearts to intercede for you, voices to encourage you, so that you would never have to walk this journey alone. And above all, remember this: I am your source. I am the ever-flowing stream, the living water that never runs dry. You can come to me every day and receive exactly what you need. I am your provider, not just of material things, but of love, peace, strength, endurance, and everything required for you to live in the fullness of your calling. You feel like you're lacking? I will restore. You feel empty? I will fill you. You carry wounds and fractures that no words or time seem to heal? Come closer, and I will reach into those places, not to destroy, but to renew. Like parched ground, revived by the first rains of the season. Yet there is one thing I ask of you: a willing heart. A heart that is not closed off in defense, not clenched to the past, not trying to control the outcome. I cannot pour new wine into a vessel already filled with fear, doubt, and unconfessed burdens. Come to me with open hands, ready to let go of everything that has exhausted you. Lay down the shame that whispers you're not enough, the guilt from yesterday, and the questions like, why am I like this, that the enemy has planted to make you retreat. Those things, shame, fear, secret sin, have no place in the new life I am calling you into. They do not belong to the light. They do not come from me. I do not use shame to correct. I do not use fear to keep you in line. My love never pushes you into corners of hiding, but always invites you into light where nothing needs to be concealed, and where healing reaches all the way to the root. My child, imagine a life where you no longer strain to prove yourself, where you are not caught in a cycle of stress and striving. Picture waking each morning, not with heaviness over what remains unfinished, but with peace, knowing I am holding everything together. That kind of life is real and It begins when you release the burdens I never asked you to carry and enter into the rest I have prepared for you. I want you to live fully not by the world's standards, but with the wholeness measured by gratitude, presence, and deep joy in your spirit. And to live like that, you must learn to walk with me daily, not just in the big decisions, but even in the smallest moments, choosing to drink water instead of skipping a meal, sitting with me in stillness instead of rushing through the day. These are the sacred choices of a heart that has learned to honor itself as a gift from heaven. Do not think that I am only present when you pray loudly or read scripture for hours. I am present in every breath you lift to me, in quiet trust. I am there when you say no to what harms your body. I am there when you choose to forgive yourself. And I rejoice when you begin to see yourself through the eyes of a beloved child, not a sinner deserving condemnation. So, my child, open your heart. Let me dry the tears that have flowed for too long. Let me remove the heavy garment you've been wearing, the garment of accusation, of shame, of I am not worthy. And let me clothe you in something new, the robe of freedom, of hope, of resurrection. For I am not only the healer of wounds, I am the one who makes all things new. You are not defined by what has happened. You are defined by the one who has called you, who is keeping you, and who walks with you forever. In my presence, every need will be met. Every broken place will be restored, and everything that seemed lost or dead will live again. I love you, and I have never stopped preparing a life worth living for you, a life that reflects the dignity you carry in your heavenly bloodline. Step into it. My beloved, I am waiting for you with arms wide open. My beloved child, in the midst of change, in days when your heart feels like a sea and storm that no one else can understand, I want you to remember this. You never for a single moment face life alone. Whether you are surrounded by crowds or sitting silently in a room, whether you appear strong outwardly or trembling within, I am there, closer than the wind on your skin, truer than fleeting emotions, and more constant than any human relationship ever could be. I am not a distant deity watching from afar. I am your Father, the one who placed your first breath in your chest, the one who shaped every contour of your soul, the one who not only knows your name but calls you by my eternal love. You were not formed by randomness or vague fate. You were created by my will, crafted with care, with purpose, and with a sacred calling that only you can fulfill. I know every word you've never spoken. I understand each time you've lifted your head and masked your sorrow with a smile. I have seen the nights you lie awake, eyes open in the dark, wrestling with thoughts too heavy to share. I hear the silent sobs, the passing thoughts you assume no one notices. I've been there with every step, in every breath. And my child, if you only knew how deep my love for you runs, you would never again doubt your worth. You may think that my love will fade when you fall, when you fail, when you feel less lovable. But know this, my child, nothing can stop me from loving you. No sin, no mistake, no wrong decision, no matter how great, can dim the radiance of the love I have placed within you. I don't love you because you get it right, and I don't stop loving you when you don't. My love is not built on conditions, but on covenant, and that covenant cannot be broken. I love you even when you struggle to love yourself. I love you in the sunlight of your best days. And I love you when you wander in the dark. When you cry out to me in the night, I hear you. When you have no words left, only sighs I understand. When you're disappointed in yourself, I am not. Because I see you in a way no one else can. I see the seed of greatness I've planted. the path I am leading you on, and the glorious ending that awaits you at the finish. You are mine forever. So hold on to this truth as an anchor in the storm. You are loved completely and unconditionally. When you stand in the midst of the storm, close your eyes and let that truth sink into every breath. When you don't know which path to take, let my love be your compass. When your heart wavers, let this truth steady you, that there is one who never takes his eyes off you, never lets go of your hand, and never gives up on you. Your life may not always be easy. There will be days when you feel swept away by things far beyond your strength. But remember, no storm is greater than my embrace. No pit is too deep for my love to reach, and no desert is too barren for my grace to bloom. If you are still breathing, then I am still working. If your heart is still beating, then I am still writing the story of your life. Walk forward not in fear, but with the confidence that I go before you, walk beside you, and am ready to carry you when your legs can no longer bear the weight. Let your soul find rest in Mano, the rest of one who gives up. But the peace of a child who knows their father is still on the throne. I never promised you would escape all trials, but I did promise that no trial would ever take you out of my hand. And when the voices of the world make you question yourself, when old memories rush in to drag you down, when your heart is tangled with the unknown, return to this truth. You are mine. That is not merely a statement. It is a guarantee. When you belong to me, you are not defined by the mistakes of your past, nor by the judgments of others. You are defined by my love, a love that does not change, does not fade, and will never be withdrawn. Let every word I speak become the foundation of each day you live. Do not build your life on what is temporary, on fluctuating emotions or fleeting success. Build on the eternal truth that you are loved, chosen, and held by one who never breaks a promise. I am here not as a distant idea, but as a very present, living reality, inviting you to place your hand in mine, to walk with me, and to let me do what only I can do, to heal, to restore, to uphold, and to transform your life in ways you have not even dared to imagine. You are never alone, for I have never, and will never, leave you. Hold on to that, and live each day as one who is being held securely in the arms of unchanging love. My beloved child, there are times when you hear small voices in your mind, persistent whispers that creep into every thought. Every moment when your heart feels weary, they say you're not enough, that you've wasted your chances, that your prayers vanish into silence, and that I am distant. They say your life is spiraling beyond control, that all your efforts are in vain, and that nothing will ever change. But my child, stop for a moment and listen closely. Those voices are not from me. I am the one who loves you with an everlasting love, and that love is never laced with accusation. I am the Father of life, of hope, of peace, and what I speak never carries the weight of destruction or despair. Those voices, the ones of blame, of darkness, of shame that convince you you're unworthier, lies deliberately planted, crafted by the enemy of your soul. He knows that if you believe them, you will forget who you are in me. He knows that if you doubt my love, you will never step into the fullness I've prepared for you. Be alert, my child. The battle is not always fought outwardly. Some of the greatest battles are waged quietly in the depths of your mind. That is where the enemy targets you, where he sows seeds of doubt, of shame, of unworthiness, and of despair. He hopes that if he speaks long enough, loud enough, you will one day accept his lies as truth. But I have come today to break those lies, to tear down every stronghold with the light of truth. My child, the truth is this: you were fearfully and wonderfully made. There is no mistake in your past strong enough to destroy the future I have planned for you. There is no accusation from hell that holds the authority to define your worth. The enemy may try to distort the truth, but he cannot undo what I have declared. You are my beloved, chosen, forgiven, and equipped to walk in abundant life. And that is why your mind matters so deeply. Because it is there that faith is formed, and it is there too where fear can take root. It is the place where you choose to believe my word or accept the lies of the enemy. Every thought is a seed, and depending on whether you allow it to grow or cast it out, it will determine the course of your life. I have not left you to fight alone. I have given you weapons, my word as a sharp sword, my spirit as your strength, and prayer as the sacred breath that keeps your soul alert in the midst of an invisible battlefield. Do not let negative thoughts rule as masters within your mind. You have the authority to reject them. You can rise and declare, I do not agree with lies. I do not live by fleeting emotions. I live by faith in the one who called me out of darkness into light. Every time you do this, every time you cast down a false thought and replace it with truth from my word, you are tearing down the stones of the stronghold the enemy tried to build within your heart. My child, you are not a prisoner of your thoughts. I have given you the power to choose what is allowed to dwell within your inner being. Guard your mind as one would guard a precious fortress. Be mindful of what you let in, what you meditate on each day. The words you speak to yourself can either build you up or tear you down. So speak my words. Let your lips echo the living truths, the promises, the goodness I have stored within the scriptures. When you feel lost, return to my word, the place where truth does not shift. When you feel weak, say, the Lord is my strength. When you are surrounded by voices of deception, declare, I am God's beloved, chosen and secure, and no one can snatch me from his hand. Let the faith within you not be mere intellect, but a living way of being, saturating your words, shaping your choices, guiding your every step. The battlefield is in your mind, but the victory is mine. And because you are in me, that victory is yours as well, not by your own strength, but by the power of grace and truth. You don't have to wait until you're no longer afraid to begin living as one who is free. You only need the courage to say no to the lie and yes to the divine Kalivan. If your voice trembles or your eyes fill with tears, I see your effort. I know the silent battles no one else can see. And I also see within you a resilient spirit, a faithful heart that keeps holding on through days without light. You think I only work through triumphant moments. But no, I'm working even in the days when all you can whisper is, I still believe. That whisper, to me, is the loudest song of victory on the battlefield. So, my child, do not let your mind become a field where the enemy sows chaos. Let it become the dwelling place of truth where every thought and every decision is lit by my word. Stand up like a warrior, not because you are unafraid, but because you know what you are fighting for, and I will fight with you every day, in every battle, until you step fully into the wholeness of the blessing I have prepared for you. You are mine, and no lie can change that. No stronghold is too fortified for me to tear down. No battle is too fierce for me to bring victory. I am here, fighting for you. And I am saying to you right now that you are enough. You are loved, and you will overcome. My beloved child, do not let the lies that darkness whispers in your mind become what shapes you. Do not let voices from the pit sow seeds of doubt, causing you to question your worth or my faithfulness. You were not created to live in fear, to be bound by condemnation, or to fall under the poisonous whispers of the enemy. Those things are not yours. They carry no breath of life and no light of truth. Instead of letting your mind be occupied by deceit, choose to fill it with what is true, what is trustworthy, what endures, that is, my word. My promises are not empty. They are foundations you can stand on, weapons you can wield against every force that tries to pull you away from the good plans I have for you. When your heart feels conflicted and unstable, come back to what I have spoken, that you are loved, called out of darkness to walk in the radiant light of my glory. I know there are moments when your thoughts are so heavy that it feels hard to breathe. There are days when you feel buried beneath anxiety, weighed down by the what-ifs, haunted by the fear of the unknown, and you begin to wonder, am I still there? Do I hear your silent cries? Am I working behind the censor? Are you just standing alone in a desert of shadows? And because I know those questions, I come to remind you, not with thunder or wind, but with a quiet voice full of power. I am here, and I have never left. You may not see me, but I am near. You may not feel me, but I am moving. You may not understand the path, but I am holding your hand step by step. You may think that my silence is a sign of absence, but no, my dear child, that silence is often the moment when I am refining your faith. When I do not answer immediately, it is not because I do not care, but because I am building within you a faith that does not depend on emotions, but on the knowledge, the deep knowing that I am faithful, the unchanging Father, the source of all life, and the one who always keeps his promises. I want you to live a life that is not shaken by waves of negative thoughts, but firmly rooted upon the rock of my word. I have spoken, and what I have spoken will not return void. My plans for you are not plans of confusion or destruction, but a journey led by kindness and mercy, a plan written in love, woven in patience, and brought to fulfillment in glory. You were created for a future, and not a vague, uncertain future, but one filled with hope. I did not create you only to abandon you halfway. I did not lead you out of the darkness just to let you get lost in a dim light. I have called you, and when I call, I also equip, sustain, and guard. My plan is to cause you to grow, not to crush you, to lift you up, not to strike you down, to make you strong in the spirit, not to burden you under the weight of the world. So lift up your head, my beloved. Reject every thought that tells you you've been forgotten. Reject every whisper that says you're not enough, not worthy. Reject every feeling that tempts you to give up. For the only thing you must cling to is the truth I have given you. Let my word become the heartbeat in your chest. Let my promise be the lullaby that calms your soul in the sleepless nights. Let my love be the light that leads you through the darkest places. I have given you my spirit, the comforter, the guide, the reminder, so that you are never left alone in a voiceless desert. When you are weak, he intercedes for you with groanings too deep for words. When you are confused, he is the gentle wind drawing you back toward me. And when you fall, he is the strength that lifts you again. Engrave this truth deep in your heart. My child, I am faithful. My word is true. My love is eternal. My presence is unshakable. Nothing, no circumstance, no darkness, no fear, no wound can stop me from moving on your behalf. And no matter how much the world may change, this will always remain true. I will never leave you. I have placed within you seeds of life, of strength, of courage, and I am nurturing them daily through every situation, every conversation, every prayer you offer, even through tears. Believe that goodness is on the way, not because you deserve it, but because I am good. My love for you is not limited by performance or feelings, but is rooted in my very nature, which does not change. You are loved yesterday, today, and forever. You are held in my hands, in my heart, and in a plan that cannot be undone. So live with the confidence that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, not pushed aside. You are right in the center of my attention and care. And when those thoughts return, when your heart is once again pulled by questions like, will it really happen? Or, is there still hope? Close your eyes, place your hand over your heart, and whisper, He is still here, and He has never changed. For I, your Lord, am the everlasting one, and my love for you is eternal. My precious child, I know there are moments when you kneel with a heavy heart, yet stand up feeling no lighter. I see the times you pray in silence, sometimes because there are no words left, sometimes because you fear that if you speak, you will break. I know that feeling, the sense that your prayers are just bouncing off the ceiling, that heaven is quiet, and I've turned my face away. I see the unspoken questions rising in your soul. Lord, do you hear me? Do you care? Are you really listening? Oh, my child, let me shatter those doubts with this eternal truth. I hear. I always hear. Not a single prayer of yours is ignored. Not a sigh escapes me. Not a tear falls that I do not see. You may not receive an immediate reply, but that does not mean I am silent in love. I am moving, sometimes quietly, sometimes in ways you least expect, and always with a purpose that far surpasses your limited understanding. Your prayers are not lost in the void. They are received like fragrant incense before my throne, pure, sincere, and precious. Every prayer born from faith, even faith as small as a mustard seed, is remembered in heaven. No word is wasted. No whisper is meaningless, even when all you can do is weep in silence. I understand, for I am the one who searches the heart, who needs no eloquency, no perfect delivery. I only desire sincerity. I know that waiting can wear you down. There are days when you look around and see others receiving their answers, while you seem to be left behind. Perhaps you've wondered, is my faith not strong enough? Did I do something wrong? But let me remind you of a comforting truth. Unanswered prayers are not a measure of my love for you. It is not a rejection, but an invitation to go deeper, deeper into trust, into perseverance, into full surrender. My dear child, there are things I do not answer right away because I am preparing you to receive something far greater. Some doors close not because you are unworthy, but because I am opening another way, a way that is better, more enduring, and will bring greater glory to my name. My timing is not like human timing. I do not measure by clocks, but by eternity. And because I see the full picture, I will never give you something too soon or too late. Everything I do is perfectly timed and always for your good. So, my child, do not give up in prayer, even when nothing seems to change on the outside. Miracles are unfolding within. Every cry you lift up is stirring power, pushing back the darkness, softening hearts, and making way for wonders to emerge. Sometimes I don't change the situation right away because I am using it to change you. And that transformation in attitude, in awareness, in faith is the deepest miracle of all. Keep crying out, even in sighs. Keep seeking, even when answers are not yet visible. Hold on to faith, even when your hands are still empty. I am listening, I am arranging, and I am moving in ways that human eyes cannot perceive. You may feel like you are in a silent pause, but it is the pause of preparation, like soil quietly nurturing a seed until the day it bursts forth in glory. You do not need eloquent words to move me. I am not swayed by speech. I am touched by the heart. A genuine whisper, a glance toward heaven, a trembling hand lifted in fragile faith, that alone is enough to draw my ear close. Don't measure the success of your prayer by the speed of my response. Measure it by the closeness it brings between your heart and mine. For the highest purpose of prayer is not merely to receive what you desire, but to become one with mine love. In obedience, in communion. Believe that every day you pray, you are planting seeds of faith, and in due season, you will reap not just outward outcomes, but inward growth. A life so rooted in me that nothing can shake it. Remember my promise. Those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy, and you will see right in the place where you once wept. You will sing in the place where you once felt defeated. You will dance, and in the place where you waited so long, I will reveal my faithfulness in ways that take your breath away. So, my beloved, keep going. Don't let go. Don't let the silence fool you into thinking I've stepped away. Keep your heart tender, your hope alive, and your feet moving day by day, hour by hour, prayer by prayer, even when you cannot see. I am hearing, even when you cannot understand. I am working, and when my timing arrives, every piece will fall perfectly into place, and you will realize that every prayer, every tear, every groan has carried you to a place only my love could lead you to. I love you, and I have never missed a single prayer. Keep praying, keep trusting, because I, the one who hears your prayers, am also the one who will answer them in the best way, at the best time. And when that time comes, you will understand every moment of waiting in me is never in vain. My beloved child, my words today are not just a gentle reminder, but a call from the depths of my heart, a divine, sincere, and earnest invitation. I do not merely want you to remember what I have spoken. I am inviting you into a new journey, a journey of deeper intimacy, complete trust, and wholehearted unity between you and me. My child, I am calling you closer, not only through outward actions, but in your thoughts, your words, your motives, and the core of your heart. I am calling you to open your heart, to lay down lingering doubts, and to step into a relationship not built on fleeting emotions, but on unshakable devotion, regardless of circumstances. Not a faith built on what you see, but one rooted in what you know of me, that I am faithful, the keeper of my promises, the Father who never breaks his word to his children. I do not force. My love always honors your choice. But today, I place before you a question not to test you, but to awaken in you a response born out of love and freedom. Are you willing to step into greater intimacy with me? Will you accept my invitation not to remain on the safety of the shore, but to walk into deeper waters of unconditional surrender? Trusting me in peaceful days is precious, but choosing to keep trusting, even when things grow difficult, unclear, or broken, that is faith refined like gold in the fire. I do not take your choices lightly. I know it's not easy. I see each moment when your voice trembles but still says, I believe. I hear every choked prayer that still ends with Amen. And those moments please me more than any loud song of praise. I long to see you live, not by fleeting emotions, but by eternal truth. I long to hear your mouth speak not words of fear, doubt, or despair, but streams of blessing for yourself, for your family, and for every soul you encounter. For you are not merely made in my image, you are called to reflect my glory. And that begins with every word you utter, every thought you nourish in your heart. Imagine a life where your words are not shaped by your circumstances, but led by truth. Imagine when you open your mouth, heaven agrees. When you pray, impossibilities begin to shift. When you bless, spiritual doors open. This is the authority I have given you, not to keep hidden, but to wield. Yet, this authority can only be fully alive when you choose to walk in deep oneness with mind thought, in wort, in faith, and in deed. And my child, that kind of life doesn't come through pressure. It comes from choosing to put me first, from making prayer not your last resort, but your first breath each day, from seeking me not to gain things, but to be with me, to listen, to know my heart, to become more like me. I am not seeking those who pray to check a box, who read scripture out of duty, or speak spiritual words as a facade. I am seeking a true heart, a heart that may stumble but stays sincere, that may be weak but always turns back, that may not be perfect but longs to delight me. Are you willing to be that person? Will you allow your mind to be transformed, not by the world but by my spirit? Will you choose for your words to no longer echo your surroundings, but to resound with truth from heaven? Will you commit to live each day not to please others, but to bring joy to your Father in heaven? If you say yes, then know this: I am not asking for perfection. I only need a willing heart. I will be the one to teach you, guide you, refine you, and uphold you through every step. I will pour out my spirit upon you like refreshing water in the desert, to nourish your soul, to awaken spiritual dreams, to revive what seemed lifeless. I will go before you, walk beside you, and when needed, carry you through the days you feel you cannot take another step. You are not alone, and you are not as weak as you think. You only need to take the first step, a sincere yes from the heart. And from that moment on, I will do the rest. I will turn today's invitation into tomorrow's living journey. I will lead you into a new season, a season of restoration, of spiritual fire, of blessings beyond what you've ever dared to ask for. So, my child, answer today. You don't need to shout it or write it down. Just whisper deeply from within, Lord, here I am. I am willing. And when you do, all of heaven will smile in stillness. For the Father has seen a child has chosen to return, to draw near, to go deeper, to live not only in belief, but in belonging. And I, the one who calls you with everlasting love, will never fail to fulfill my promise. From the moment you say yes, a new season begins, a season where you no longer simply follow me, but walk in me, united with me, and bear fruit in my name. For this is the ultimate purpose, that you were born to belong to me, to walk with me, and to reveal me to a world weary for truth. And I, your Father, am waiting for your answer, not because I lack, but because I love. Amen. As a child of God, He is always beside you in every moment, faithfully reminding you to walk in faith and remain anchored in His love. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the words I speak from heaven. Amen.